In today's video, we're going to be doing some more precision rifle load development in .308 Winchester. Today we'll be testing the 168 grain Sierra Match King with IMR 8208 XBR. Stick around. Guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going through the first phase of our precision rifle load development in .308 Winchester. In case you might not be familiar, our test platform is the Ashbury Precision Sabre M700. This is a .308 Winchester rifle on the Remington 700 platform. We have made a couple upgrades to our platform. We have replaced it with an MDT stock as well as a upgraded trigger. The platform upgrades aren't going to make as big of a difference today, as today in our first phase, we are concentrating more on finding velocity nodes. Not to get into too much history, but in case you're unfamiliar, the 168 grain is a staple in the .308 Winchester platform. If you're familiar with gold medal match ammunition, it's offered in several flavors in .308 Winchester. One of those flavors we've already tested on the channel. This is actually the 175 grain version. We actually had some pretty darn good performance right out of the gate with our rifle with that ammunition. I didn't purchase any of the gold medal match in 168 grain, but there's certainly lots of information about it online and no reason why we wouldn't try it out here on the channel. Certainly not going to say they're right, wrong, or indifferent, but most of the speculation online insinuates that IMR 4064 is the powder that Federal uses in the gold medal match ammunition. Right, wrong, or indifferent, we didn't have any available when we did perform today's test. Have no fear, guys. We do have some. It's coming up, but that doesn't mean today's testing is going to be irrelevant either. As far as the data for today's testing is actually going to come from Sierra's reloading manual. And as far as the accuracy powder for this projectile during test, they list 8208 XBR for their accurate powder. So it's very likely they found some good performance with this particular combination. For our load development today, Sierra's Max is based on a longer barrel. Our test platform only has a 20-inch barrel. I do believe that Sierra data is based on a 24-inch barrel. So the 44.3 grains at 2770 feet per second is going to be a higher velocity than we would plan to achieve today. We are going to shoot a slightly different cartridge overall length. Sierra's cartridge overall length is the common 2.800 inch that we're all used to. However, we're going to go just a touch longer today. Using our quick load data, it does look like Sierra's very close. It is estimating at 44.3 grains in our shortened barrel that will hit 2676 feet per second and be cresting our pressure at 62,608 psi at that charge weight. In true Saturday style, we're actually going to go just a bit above that, and today we're going to load all the way to 44.5 grains. Let's just go through a summary of our load data for today. The brass we're going to be using is Hornady brass. It's from some factory ammunition that we've fired, annealed, and resized for our rifle. Our projectile today is the Sierra 168 grain hollow point boat tail Match King, part number 2200. And yes, this is the same projectile that Federal uses in their 168 grade gold medal match ammunition. Since generally speaking, we're a little bit trying to mimic the gold medal match ammunition, even though we haven't shot it, we're going to the Federal 210M primer. This is a large rifle match primer from Federal. Partly because of Sierra's recommendation, our powder today is IMR 8208 XBR. We're going to be starting all the way down at 40.9 grains and going up in 0.2 grain increments, going all the way up to 44.5 grains. Again, 0.2 of a grain over Sierra's published maximum. Now, as far as estimated velocities, we went to quick load today and put in our barrel length to get at least a mildly corrected estimate for velocity. Though for our quick load, we didn't bother backing it down any further than 41.5 grains. At 41.5 grains, it says we're going to be somewhere around 22 feet per second. At 44.5 grains, we'll be maxing out at 2686 feet per second. The cartridge overall length we loaded to is actually 2.813 inches with a CBTO of 2.218 inches. Just a little bit over our 2.800 inches, but well within our magazine feeding capability. If we were truly trying to mimic our Federal gold medal match ammunition, going back to our 175 grain ammunition, the actual advertised box velocity is 2600 feet per second, but losing our barrel length, we dropped down and we were getting somewhere around pretty good 2550 feet per second. The published estimated velocity for the 168 grain that we're dealing with today, their estimated velocity is going to be 2650 feet per second. A little bit of a rough guess here, but 2600 feet per second seems like about the velocity we would expect in our rifle if we were to have some 168 grain Federal gold medal match ammunition. Let's just start by putting our graph on the screen there. Down at 40.9 grains, our starting velocity was 2536 feet per second, so even above what quick load thought we were going to be getting, 0.6 grains higher. At Sierra's max, 2773 feet per second is what we actually got, which this is what Sierra predicted for the longer barrel length. None of the other rounds actually got that high, so I'm not exactly sure if there's something different with that piece of brass. At 44.5 grains, 2732 feet per second is what we got, and 44.1 grains, 2725 feet per second is what we achieved. So that does seem to be a bit of an anomaly right there at the maximum load. Fairly good response all the way across the board. But deciding where we want to go in the future is the big question here, right? So again, assuming that we're going to be losing 50 feet per second off of our advertised box velocity, that would put us somewhere around 2,600 feet per second. And it does look like there is an excellent node right in that area. Looking down at our chart at 41.9 grains all the way to 42.3 grains, we actually had an extreme spread of 8 feet per second over that range. That seems to be a pretty wide trough down there. If we want to look up a little bit higher, maybe at 2635, we're still well under our max charge and a reasonable velocity, a little bit higher there at 42.9 grains. As we creep up the chart there at 43.7 grains, we are under max. However, the velocity we're achieving indicates by quick load that we would be slightly over pressure, assuming all of their estimates are correct. And in case you're interested to know, we'll put the chart on the screen. We can see at 44.5 grains, the estimated velocity would have been 2686, maxing out at 63,472 psi. But the brass really will give us some indication of what we're achieving and what we're doing here. So I'll put the brass on the screen. You guys can make a judgment call for pressure on your own. As we start looking at our brass down at 40.9 grains, going all the way up to 44.5, there's really not any significant pressure differences, at least that we can see in the brass. It does not appear that we have any excessive primer flattening. The cratering seems to be consistent with what we've been getting on factory brass, as well as we're very confident down at 40.9 grains that we're not having any pressure signs at all. The brass looks basically identical at 44.5 grains as it does at 40.9. Quick load may say we're a little bit over pressure here, but we really don't have any signs on the brass. Not saying that we want to challenge it any higher than that, but certainly would make me confident to try a spot a little bit higher in our graph if the data indicated that. Velocity is always nice, but accuracy is kind of one of the things we're looking for. And if Federal knows what they're doing and shooting 2,600 feet per second, maybe that's a good place to look. But I'm always interested to see what you guys say in the comment section below. Knowing this is basically the incremental load development test or the Scott-Satterley test, whatever you feel like calling it today, where would you guys test along the curve? Velocity is always nice, but again, having that extreme spread of 8 down at 41.9 to 42.3 grains, we're going to be well under pressure. And if that performed pretty well, I'm not sure there would be a ton of reason to try and push it significantly higher. But as always, I'm interested to know what you guys think in the comment section below. When I was making the notes for today's video, I didn't even make the group size on there. Today, in case you're new here, our phase 1 basically is going through and doing a velocity chart, doing our pressure workup, making sure we're sticking with safe velocities, getting some baseline data for our expectations for what we should expect moving forward. I'll throw the groups on the screen so you can see what the groups we were able to achieve with this combination was, but keep in mind, this is a pretty wide charge weight and accuracy wasn't really what we were looking for. Accuracy is always nice, but getting the velocity curve, then we're going to get into our accuracy testing. That's mostly my method here on the channel. The other thing I'm really interested in, are you guys more interested in completing our IMR 828 XBR with the 168? Or are you guys more interested in flipping straight to the IMR 4064 testing? Now that we've got our IMR 4064 in hand, nothing says that we can't go back to 8208. I'm not opposed to either one, but interested in what you guys think in the comment section below. Even if you didn't like today's video, here's 2 more videos that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post next week's video. I hope to see you guys come back next week. And until then, stay safe in small groups.